I'm feeling the need for speed. And right after this, let me show you how you're going to pick up more speed quickly as well. Stay tuned. This video is sponsored by Ripstick. Ripstick, get fast, faster. So lately I've been feeling pretty sluggish. I haven't been practicing keeping up on my speed lately. Been practicing a lot of mechanical things, and that has made me need to go kind of slower to get them right. First correctly, then quickly. But if you wait too long and you're mechanical or you swing slowly, you're gonna get good at swinging slowly. So I'm back. I'm gonna blend a little bit more speed into my workouts, and I'm gonna use this new product that I found called Ripstick. Now, what I love about Ripstick here is that number one, it's only one piece. It's one piece instead of three, so it fits in your bag much easily. It doesn't take up as much space. But through the handy use of these steel dowels that lock into place, you can get lots of different variations in weight that will help stimulate your muscle fibers to get faster. So we can go overspeed by making it less weight than your driver, and then we can go overweighted and make it a little bit heavier. But the weights make sense. We're talking about only maybe up to plus or minus 12% or so. So it fits beautifully with all the science. Now here's how I like to work out with this thing. Each of these metal rods is 30 grams. I'm going to put all three of them in. You just slide them in, and then all you just do is turn it a quarter, couple clicks, and it locks in place, keeping the rods in place. Now in this configuration, this is about 360 grams. There's also a back weight available too. That's another 60 grams. But for this workout, I'm just going to go to a maximum of 360 grams. Now your standard driver is somewhere in the neighborhood of 310 grams. And if you have a really light shaft, like 50 grams or 45 grams, your driver might be as low as 300 grams. Well, in this configuration, this is sitting at 360 grams. So it's about 12 to 14% heavier than my driver. I would start off doing a set of these. Now, how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna do what I call a 1+5. I do kind of, the first repetition is kind of a good morning. And then I'm gonna start going faster and faster and try to really reach my maximum burst on swings 4, 5, and 6. So it's medium, then it's fast, faster, fastest, 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 and then I rest for a good minute. So let's see. This thing's pretty heavy, so I'm gonna swing it slower, despite my best effort. I'll swing it slower than my driver. Let's see how it goes. Okay, there's a good morning swing. Now I try to build. And one more. All right, looks like I peaked out there at about 110, and I'll tell you, just doing 6 of these swings all out will really get your heart rate and breathing up. So you're looking for quality of repetition. Quantity isn't as important as quality. You want good wind-ups, good maximum efforts, and then you're going to rest as long as it takes for your breathing and heart rate to come back down again so that you can make another good quality maximum effort. So now while I'm resting, I'm going to make my adjustment. I'm going to take the Ripstick, just give it a couple of clicks, and then I can slide out 30 grams, pop it back in. I just pop this thing in my pocket, no problem. So you can see how one piece better than 3 pieces, and the weights are good. Another thing I really like about this is the cost. That's why eventually went with endorsing this product over all the other ones. The other ones are more expensive. I think this has the right weighting, and it's going to be as effective for less cost, and I like to keep your costs down. So here we are now at 330 grams, fully rested. She'll be able to swing faster than that 110. Let's check it out. So I got to wait for it to reset. Not quite as fast. Now let's do one more good one. All right, looks like my high on that set was either 119 or 120. A little too bright of sunlight coming directly in on the radar. So again, while I'm resting, I'm going to drop down another 30 grams by simply sliding out another one of the rods here, and I'll pop it closed again to lock the remaining one up. So I'm now going to be at 300 grams, which is going to be just a little bit less than my 310 gram driver, about 3%. Of course, I'll start to get faster. Now, while I'm resting, I can also tell you about the mate to this product, the Ripstick, is the Rip radar. And what I love about this radar is it has a much more pronounced display compared to the blue one. The blue one, it's very difficult to tell what the numbers are sometimes because it's so small. It's a much bigger readout. And if you're a veteran of one of those blue radars, you know that you've got to position it just right. It's very temperamental. Got to position it at the right angle and the right distance. And for some of you in the know, you know that the closer you make the swoosh to the radar, the faster it will read. So it encourages you to move closer and closer until finally, wham. So if you've ever seen that on Instagram of a long driver accidentally exploding his $120 radar, that's not very much fun. So the positioning on this guy is out in front here, so you have virtually no chance of ever breaking it, and you can really cut loose and freewheel, where the blue one, it felt like you had to kind of measure and hold back so that you wouldn't accidentally break it. All right, we're ready for a set at 300 grams. I think I was up to 119 or 120 high score. Now last set, see what we can do here. $123 is my good morning swing. Let's do a few more. $126. Either 120 or 128. One more. And it looks like 120. So it looked like I had a high there, about 126. Could have been 128. Again, the sun is coming in a little bit too direct. Try to maybe film it from a different angle in a second. Again, we'll just unlock with a click, a little twist, pull a pin out, lock it again. I have no remaining pins. It's at its base weight now, 270 grams. This represents about 40 grams underweight of my driver, which puts it right around 12 or 13% under the weight of my normal driver, making it a really good weight for some overspeed training. This I will get my fastest on the radar. All right, here comes a good morning swing. Gonna do 1 plus about 4 or 5. $131. 128. $133. See if I can get a 135 here. There we go. Got it. 135 or 136. So that was the fastest by far, and that is my new high score. since starting to work again on speed with the Ripstick. So it is coming in quite handy. I've now had a few workouts and I've consistently seen a new PR each time I've worked out. Of course, that won't last forever. The gains will start to be more difficult, tedious, longer time in between. But I'm looking for 10 miles an hour. I think I can do that in the next 10 weeks or so. I'm already a couple weeks in. My goal is to be able to swing smoothly at 120 miles an hour, 180 ball speed, and smoothly drive the ball 350 yards straight. Wouldn't that be a dream? That is my goal by the end of this year. What is your goal? Do you have a goal or a desire to pick up more clubhead speed and distance? Well, give the Ripstick some consideration. Again, it's the cheapest. I think it's the best value. It's the easy to adjust. Just one little pop here, little twist, pop a weight in and then close it back up again. You can change the weights and you can get several different weight combinations that can keep your muscles guessing. It's that variability that really keeps the muscle fibers guessing, but you've got to put them on full blast. Otherwise, they're not going to adapt. So you've got to reach every last little fast twitch fiber and get them to activate. By maximum effort, you will gain coordination. The fibers will start to adapt, and over some time, you will get faster. Now, keep in mind, I am fully warmed up. I've hit a half a bucket of balls. I've swung my orange whip long in each direction, so I'm fully loose so that I can minimize the risk of injury. Now, my full routine has been go 360, 330, 300. So that's 3 sets. Then I drop it to 270 with no remaining metal bolts left in it, no metal weights in it. The base is 270 grams. So I go 360, 330, 300, 270, rest. Then I go up. I start to climb. So one more at 270. Then I start adding in bolts again, 300, 330, 360, and that's it. So that's 8 sets of about 5. That is a fairly heavy load for somebody who is a senior golfer. I would recommend working up to that. You might just try 15 to 20 swings 3 times a week at first and working your way up as you do not experience any injury or soreness. Now, the object of speed training is not to attempt to take these all maxed out swings out onto the golf course. No, what you're doing is you're tricking your body to make its cruising speed higher. You see, the relationship works like this. Your maximum speed will always be about 5 to 7 miles an hour above your smoothest cruising speed. But if you were to raise your top speed 10 miles an hour, you're also going to raise your cruising speed by 10 miles an hour. In other words, you're going to walk up to the first tee and make your normal swing, what feels totally smooth and easy to you, but there's going to be this 10 mile an hour added turbo boost behind it without you even feeling it. So your buddies are really going to see the difference, but you're not going to feel it when you're out there. And when you're at smooth cruising speed, that's usable speed. Usable speed that you can also use to be the most accurate you can be. All right, I'm going to go back and work a little bit more on my goal. I've built back up to the 300 grams again, and I'm going to work back up to 330 and then 360 before I'm done, and maybe even do a set with my own driver and see what I'm baselining on the radar with that. Now, I want you to check the links for both of these items. I've left a link to purchase both of these items below. The Ripstick, again, there's a lot of options out there, and I've studied all of them. I've talked to all the creators of them, and I found that this is the best value for what you get. Ease of use, ease of training, and you get the radar along with it because the radar works so much better than anything else that I've seen on the market. It's just easy, it just sits there in front, you can't break it, and it gives you this nice, big, obvious red display. All right, I'll go back to it. I'm Steve. Thanks so much for watching, and if I don't see you in the next video, I will see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.